Welcome to Surviving the Side Hustle, the podcast for high performers who've gone all in, but still feeling a little stuck. I'm your host, Rob Tracy, coach, speaker, and creator of the Prime Performance Process. If you're a solopreneur, small business owner, or just launched your side hustle and you're tired of grinding with no momentum, this is for you. Every week, we bring you guests that have broke the code, generated momentum, and finally got unstuck. And we're diving into their stories, their struggles, and their secrets to generating massive momentum in both their personal and professional lives. We don't do fluff here. We do frameworks, real talk, and share the kind of insights that get you unstuck for good. Welcome, and let's get rolling. But before we dive in, I gotta remind you, if you're overwhelmed, spinning your wheels, or just tired of hustling without the results, it's time for a Prime Performance Strategy session. In this free call, we'll zoom out on your life and business, identify the real reason you're feeling stuck, and build a game plan to help you reclaim your confidence, energy, and gain some clarity so you can get back to doing what you set out to do. Lead, grow, and thrive. This isn't surface level coaching. It's a system built on resilience, intentionality, clarity, and alignment. So head over to survivingthesidehustle.com/free call to grab your spot today. Again, that's survivingthesidehustle.com/free call. Let's get going and help you look good, feel good, and do great things. What's going on? Welcome back to another Friday recap of Surviving the Side Hustle podcast. And I want to kind of kick things off by painting a picture because in entrepreneurship, we get, especially in like skill-built entrepreneurship, we really develop these skills that make us really good at this craft or practice, this thing that we do. And then we make this leap into entrepreneurship and we're juggling all these different hats. And we're really good at the thing that we got good at, but then we have to take on the new role as business owner at the same time. And that can slow down a lot of momentum because it takes a lot of courage to tackle things. So imagine if you were able to just go out and immediately succeed at everything you were doing, like new projects, scaling, asking for sales, booking sales calls, whatever it may be. Because that's what I want to kind of lead into today with the conversation that I had with Robin Carr, because the conversation itself is essentially a masterclass in what happens when you stop waiting to feel ready and start listening to the voice that won't leave you alone on the inside. So think about a season for yourself here, because this whole thing reminds me of a time when I was telling myself like, okay, this is fine. I'm just hanging out. Like I'm doing stuff. Things are moving forward. Comfort started to kind of creep in. I was happy with what I was making, but we have these goals of trying to get to X, Y, and Z, but we end up creating this comfort corner for ourselves. And we kind of keep listening to ourselves, telling ourselves like, okay, yeah, I don't really want to push because I'm already doing kind of fine, kind of living that lie. And that's where I was with personal training for a while. I realized I didn't need to go out. I didn't need to seek for new people. And then when I shifted into performance strategy, it was really, okay, now I got to go out. I got to have more conversations with people and I have to be willing to be courageous and put myself out there. And that's why I really like this conversation with Robin, because the problem is most high performers, they don't lack the talent to go out there. Ends up happening is lacking the permission to choose yourself. What that means is we're conditioned to prioritize security over the fulfillment. We try to tolerate the misalignment for as long as we can just for the next paycheck. And we often ignore that inner voice that's telling us like, hey, the outside looks pretty good. And eventually that just continues to create a lot of friction. So this problem really shows up in a lot of our lives, right? We tend to have this quiet dissatisfaction with ourselves, our business, or clients, or products even. This creates identity confusion and anxiety starts to creep in, especially when that success or that early stage success starts to disappear a little bit, like imposter phenomena and such. And then we start beginning to feel like we're behind, even when we've already achieved so much more than everybody else out there. We've taken those leaps and we've already tasted success, but it starts to kind of creep back in. And when something external collapses, like our main job or title or role or something, you don't just lose the income, you lose who you thought you were. So that identity. And that's exactly where I'd like to kick things off here. So this week's guest, Robin Carr, her story really begins right at that point. She spent years in the corporate world. She did what she was, quote unquote, supposed to do. She had the steady income, she had professional growth, and external success that everybody wouldn't think guess or twice about. Then suddenly her role was eliminated. Second time hit very differently. In April, she was promoted, and then in September, she went from 6 figures to 0. Not because of her performance, but because the structure disappeared. And that moment didn't just disrupt her career, it literally shattered her identity. So if you're connecting with any of that, I encourage you, if you really want to check into the full emotional arc, like the turning points and the depth of her story, go listen to the full episode on surviving the side hustle. It's episode number 162. And you'll hear things about how depression became a doorway, how mindset shifted from survival to service, and how momentum follows self-trust. So stick with me. We'll bring you back to it again. 3 lessons I want to touch base with you, though, from the conversation that really stood out most. Number 1, waiting for certainty keeps you stuck. Number 2, healing creates alignment. Alignment creates momentum. And number 3, opportunity is created, not granted. So let's unpack some of that. After losing her job, she hit the deepest depression of her life. She said something that stopped her cold. She said, "I don't remember the last time I smiled." That moment became the wake-up call, not because someone came in to save her, but because she chose to respond differently. You don't wait for clarity, you act your way into it. So, how you can take that and apply it to yourself, ask yourself here, what am I postponing until I feel quote unquote ready? And where am I overthinking instead of experimenting? What small action would create feedback today? Remember, clarity follows motion, but getting clear generates the momentum. So do one imperfect thing today. If you've been delaying, like post the idea, reach out to the person, host the event, or simply just share the story. No polish, just honesty. See what comes of that. Later in our conversation, Robin talked about discovering gratitude inside adversity. Not the toxic positivity kind of thing, but conscious reframing. She shared how reading the book The Magic by Rhonda Byrne helped her do things like slow down her thoughts, interrupt spiraling internal dialogue, and choose meaning over misery. And the main point here is that healing isn't ignoring pain, it's integrating it. So if you're really here to build something new for your business or one of your products, consider unresolved emotion and how that's going to leak into your leadership. Unprocessed loss is probably going to be limiting the capacity that you can handle. And unhealed identity is going to cap the growth that you can step into. Growth requires internal work. So you're not going to get to the next stage or level if you don't do some of the work. The easiest way that I see starting to do some of the work is to spend a little time in journaling, asking yourself, like, what experience in my life do I keep trying to move past instead of learn from? A lot of times we just try to run away from negative experiences and situations and just move on with our life, but sit with it and ask yourself about it, like, hey, what can I learn from this? Don't just solve it, but sit and observe it for a while. And then later on, one of the more powerful moments in the conversation with Robin stopped waiting, was when she stopped waiting to be picked. She said that she was tired, and instead of just waiting around for speaking opportunities or new clients to come in, instead of hoping for these things to just appear to her, she decided to step out and create her own, and in places where others were overlooking and where for people who typically felt ignored. This is perfect too, because powerful message here is that momentum belongs to those who create opportunity. Constantly sharing how like opportunity favors, luck favors the prepared. Missed opportunity haunts the unprepared. So ask yourself, where are you waiting to be validated with the things that you're doing? What stage could you create right now? And who could you serve before you're even known or famous? Like, how can you impact others? Or opportunity favors the initiative. So go out there, create a platform, any kind of platform. See a lot of these skilled built business owners struggling to establish something to share with others. It could be a workshop. It could just be a Zoom group where people meet. That's how the Momentum Mastermind started. Just a bunch of us getting together in a Zoom call. Maybe it's an in-person meetup, maybe at the mall or at the park or something like that. Or maybe it's a live stream on social media. Don't wait to be invited. Start creating this, build the consistency, bring other people involved, and share stories and struggles and things like that. This podcast is a perfect example of it. And so I can recap it for you guys. Number one, courage precedes clarity. So you're going to need to take that step. I heard someone recently mention, I was talking about confidence and courage. And he asked, what's the distinction between them? The guy said that confidence feels good, where courage doesn't. And I felt like that was so true, because you have to have courage and you know it's going to suck and you're unsure about what's going to happen. You still continue to do it anyways. So number one, courage precedes clarity. Number two, healing unlocks your alignment. Number three, opportunity is built, not granted. And Robin's story proves that this isn't just theory, it's lived experience. So if any of this recap here has resonated with you, go listen to the full conversation with Robin Carr again. You'll hear her dive deep into her speaking philosophy, how she balances momentum with grounding, and how she's evolving into trauma-informed coaching. It's powerful, it's honest, and it's a human conversation. And it resonates perfectly with me because it mirrors the prime performance journey that I went on personally. When I was shifting from strength and conditioning into the performance coaching, I had to let go of a lot of certainty, identity, external validation, a lot. And prime performance at the essence is about conscious growth, not reactive hustle. And Robin really embodies that shift. So if you're listening to this, remember, you're not too late. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're a skill-built business owner in transition to something bigger and better. So your courage matters, your story matters, and your next step matters even more. So trust the voice, create the stage, choose alignment over comfort, and always reflect honestly, choose intentionally, and keep surviving the side hustle. Peace, peace, peace. And that's it for this episode of Surviving the Side Hustle. If you found this valuable, the best way to support the show is to rate and review on Apple or Spotify. It helps get the show in front of more driven individuals just like you, and helps them discover the tools to get unstuck, break through burnout, and build something real. And you can always connect deeper with me, our guests, or grab free resources at survivingthesidehustle.com/Rob. Whether it's a strategy call, the Prime Performance Personality Quiz, some of our products, or just to check out our free content library, connect with us over at survivingthesidehustle.com/Rob. And hey, remember this, you weren't meant to just grind. You were built to grow. So stay conscious, stay committed, and keep showing up. Peace, guys.